We can do an illustration with Iggy and Scared Bunny, and they're going to be, we can do a watercolor illustration. First I'm going to work out some of my thinking on the Cintiq digitally, and then I'm going to transfer that to a watercolor paper and do a watercolor. So let's take a nice drawing pen, and I'm just going to rough out an idea right now. So, now, Iggy is this impulsive pig who is always getting into trouble, and so I want to have him doing some sort of acting that will obviously get him in trouble, because that's what he's all about. And Bunny is always often takes the brunt of Iggy's kind of craziness. So I'm going to have Iggy juggling. And to make matters even worse, I'm going to have him juggling balls of fire. So right now I'm just doing a rough, and I'm going to explore this, my illustration, thinking, what if I change, move things around or change things, and how will that affect, in the story I'm trying to tell. So I'm going to have some balls of fire. Obviously, that's something that's going to cause trouble. And one of them's going to be headed, Bunny underneath. He's in his beanbag chair, which he really loves, and he's reading one of his favorite books. So he's going to be looking up at what's coming his way. And if you look at the other video, the drawing tips and tricks, you'll see how I draw these characters. Right now I'm just doing it very quickly to just put down some ideas so we can move on to the other steps. His hand here. And then we have a rough idea of the illustration. I've already drawn a few of these to move this along quicker, but it's just show my thinking. That's kind of what I'm going for. And I had done this one originally, and there were certain problem areas in it. I'm going to get a red pen here, and I'll point those out to you. Quickly get a new layer. I'm doing this with using TV Paint software, which I really like. It's animation software, made by a French company, and it's really wonderful. So Iggy's body length here is way too long. And Iggy doesn't really have much of a neck. Iggy is more drawn like this kind of teardrop shape with an egg on top, and that's more Iggy. So he's really stretched out here, but it's a little too much. And Bunny might need a little more body mass in there, and so bring this around. This is just things that I'm thinking of as I'm looking at what I've drawn to modify it. This is the one where he's way too long here, and Bunny's a little bit better in this version that I drew. Now there's some things that the overall composition seems to be like this reverse L here with this that kind of overall visual shape. I drew it in silhouette so I could see the shape better, and right now it's not super interesting. The other thing is that it feels like Bunny is in perspective, like we're looking down on this shot. There, put the perspective grid in. And so what I did was I tried to lower Bunny and put a new perspective grid in. Now it feels better, just by lowering him down a little bit. So I tried to move him over here, and now he starts, fighting the edge of the screen here. And there's almost a little too much separation. So I don't want to do that. So I move him back, and I put. All right. So what if the horizon line was way down here, so it's a very low angle? He feels like he's a little too more remote now. So I could change and bring Iggy in the foreground more, and then I could bring Bunny down, and I start now getting this nice flow going on here. And my creating this more interesting composition shape. It's often interesting to try and create your overall composition as a letter form, or maybe even some sort of imaginary letter or foreign letter. This is what I did, the final part, where I moved the fireball coming towards Bunny, much closer to Bunny, and there's more distance here. So it really leads your eye now. I've got this nice arrow kind of going, as if, you know, and it makes also Bunny's gonna, you know, it's like, whoa, he's, you know, worried about this thing coming at him. And that's what I did with this one, where move the ball even closer and Bunny's eyes pop out and stuff. And my overall composition now, well, I'll move this back down here, is this kind of triangular shape, which is a very powerful shape for creating artwork compositions. So my next step will be to start going to traditional paper, and we'll meet you there.